coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming home. Better stop that before copyright kicks in, but oh my god, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. I know, and I know what everyone is thinking right now. It's Panama. We've only beaten Panama. Let's not get carried away. Let's not overexert ourselves. But oh my Jesus Christ. That was a 5-star show, ladies and gentlemen. England are through to the last 16 of the World Cup. We have done it, ladies and gentlemen, and we have done it in style. It is absolutely brilliant. What a fantastic, what a fabulous performance that was by England today. A 6-1 spanking, 5-0 up at half-time against Panama. Yes, England won 5. Yes, 5-0 at half-time, ultimately ending with a 6-1 win to guarantee and book England a place in the last 16 of the World Cup. The only other pressing matter on the agenda is that crucial game against Belgium to see who tops the group, and that is going to be a very interesting game. But as for today, oh my days. I mean, you know, I predicted it. I think I said in my prediction, my preview, I said 6-0. I mean, I wish, you know, it'd be quite funny if I was one of these people that sat there and said, you know, oh, it's going to be a really difficult game. You know, maybe 2-0. I mean, oh my God. I mean, you know, if only I was that kind of person that said it was going to be a really tricky, like, difficult game. But goodness gracious me, that was the most straightforward afternoon I've ever seen. It was absolutely mesmerising. And in this video right now, we are going to be looking back and I'm going to be giving my thoughts and feelings to the game as England beat Panama by 6-1 in another examining England. And what I will say is, I mean, you know, Panama are not a great side. Let's, you know, first and foremost, let's address that. Let's get that out of the way. They're not a great side. They're not a brilliant side. And, you know, England should be beating Panama, you know, every single day of the week, you know, any given day of the week, England should be beating Panama and comfortably beating Panama. We saw against Tunisia an England side doing something very similar, but not, you know, being able to break, you know, Tunisia down, and having so many, you know, conscientious decisions not go their way. And in the end, you know, a 93rd, you know, last minute goal from Harry Kane got us 3 points. But today, not only did decisions go away, but we played some absolutely delicious football. And I use that word delicious. It was absolutely spellbinding. It was staggering. It was stunning. I mean, you know, the only negative really was 2 negatives. Firstly, that we conceded. And secondly, that we didn't get, like, you know, 8 or 9 goals. It was one of those games that, you know, we could have got so many more goals. And it was one of those afternoons, I mean, it was so hot, you know, the atmosphere, it was very humid, and it was, you know, it was oppressing heat, you know, you could see it, even though I wasn't actually in the stadium, but, you know, it looked hot, and it was about 30 to 40 degrees, right, like 30 to 40 degrees, and, like, looking at that, you know, heat does play a contributing part. You know, it's a certain factor that comes into when you play football matches. So, you know, even though it's not an excuse, you know, it is something that you have to take into, you know, considerable consideration, really. And, you know, England kind of, you know, they didn't look like the heat was affecting them. Maybe towards the end of the second half, as we got into like the last 15-10 minutes, you know, of the game, then you could see that England were kind of, you know, stepping their foot off the gas. But when you're, you know, you're 6-1, you know, you got 6 goals to the good, you don't need to keep getting goals, really. We got the job done, and in that first half, I mean, that first 45 minutes was fucking just out of this world, really. And, you know, what I would say as well, that not only were England fabulous going forward, I mean, Stones' header from the corner to open up proceedings, okay, Harry Kane, both of Harry Kane's penalties, right, were phenomenal penalties. You know, he hit, the first penalty that he hit so far into the left-hand corner, he nearly took the fucking goal off his hinges. Like, it was such an elegant penalty, and he hit it with so much power, so much force, and it was so much, there was such a big amount of brute force in his first penalty. His second penalty went the exact same, and it didn't have as much power, but it had accuracy and drive. The keeper thought that Harry Kane was going to go to the right, he went to the left. You know, 2 excellent penalties, okay? Jesse Lingard's goal, first World Cup final goal, absolutely stunning. You know, best goal of the day. You know, just outside the box, the turn, the twist, the composure, the swift, the swine, the move, you know, just to get into a bit of space, and then bang, there we go, that is your lot. Absolutely fabulous goal. Okay, and then Loftus-Cheek went to have a shot. Harry Kane then got the deflection. I thought originally Loftus-Cheek had scored the goal, and I was absolutely buzzing for the young man. I don't think he was actually going in, but Kane's kind of touch that he got from the bottom of his foot kind of directed it in. It looked for a moment that he was offside, but he was bang in line, level onside to complete his hat-trick. Harry Kane netting his first World Cup final hat-trick. And John Stones as well from a really nice set piece, which there was like 7 or 8 players, England players, that were like talking and kind of communicating, and it was certainly something that they had looked to practice on the training ground. Ball was swept in, then, you know, someone, I think it was Maguire winning the header, so it went from Trippier into Maguire, then it went back into Sterling. Sterling, you know, hit the ball, really good save by the goalkeeper, followed up by Jonathan Stones, who headed in for his second goal. Jonathan Stones could have had a hat-trick by the end of today, you know, generally. And in the second half, we had a couple of decent chances, we controlled the game. Panama had a couple of decent opportunities, and throughout the whole game, they looked dangerous in a couple of moments, really. And they did get a goal from a set piece. Felipe Baloy getting Panama's first goal, first World Cup final goal, and they've been waiting, you know, almost, you know, the best part of 4 decades to score in a World Cup final, and they did that, and they got a goal, so fair play to them. But I didn't like Panama. I don't like Panama because, you know, they were trying to cheat themselves to a victory. You know, I said in my preview yesterday that I thought it was going to be a really like tight and cagey game, one that Panama were going to look to just frustrate the lives out of England, and it was one of those where I thought they were going to park 11 behind the ball, try to frustrate us, and then try and hit us on the counter attack, which was their plan, and it just didn't really work. And instead of trying to frustrate us, they were cheating. I mean, you know, they were diving, they were, you know, grabbing, they were holding, they were pushing, they were shoving, you know, and like the 2 penalties that we actually got, all of the decisions that we got were right decisions, okay? Not only were they like grappling, you know, Harry Kane literally not only got, you know, shoved to the floor, like he had his hands, you know, a Panama defender put their hands on Harry Kane's kind of stomach, and they were like, you know, tussling and hugging him, right? And then as they're about to bring him down, they like headbutted him. Like, seriously. And the referee's about 2 yards behind. I mean, like, what are you doing? And every time we had a corner, Panama have got their hands running, and then they're trying to give them a fucking cuddle. I mean, what are they doing? What are they absolutely doing? You know, there was like one of the Panama defenders brushed with Sterling. His foot fucking brushed with Sterling. And then he kind of fell to the floor and was complaining that he's broke his ankle. And, you know, any chance and any moment that Panama got to not only cheat, but to try and get an England player in trouble, or just to try and, you know, be dirty to try and get a result. And that's what they would do for the whole entire 90 minutes. A fair play to England. You know, that they rose up, they ignored it. They were being the better man, really. They didn't react to it. You know, you see in some games where you see a team deliberately trying to sabotage the other team, you know, the other team kind of rise up to that, and England didn't rise up to that, and they, you know, remained professional, they acted strong, and, you know, the best way that they silenced that was by winning 6-1, really. One of England's biggest World Cup wins, and, you know, our overall game, despite looking, you know, a little bit defensively adept in some moments, and I think against a better side, that is where we are going to run into a couple of difficulties. But, you know, I'm not going to be positive. You know, I'm not going to be positive. I'm not going to be negative today. And that is simply because we absolutely battered Panama, and it was an absolutely fabulous performance. Like, going forward, particularly in that first 45 minutes, we were absolutely stunning and superb. So, you know, we've qualified for the last 16. No matter what happens on Thursday night against Belgium, we will be in the last 16 of the World Cup, which is great. All we're going to remains to be seen is whether we're going to finish in first place or in second. And also we're going to see, you know, England left it late to beat Tunisia. They then comfortably beat Panama. And this is what I said in my kind of World Cup predictions. What I said England should beat Tunisia and should beat Panama reasonably comfortably. And we have. But we're going to see what this England team are made of against Belgium. And that Belgium game, not only is it to see whether we can finish, you know, top of the group or finish in second, but what I'm really looking forward to seeing in relation to this Belgium game is how does this England team do against the big boys. We've only played against Tunisia in Panama, and let's be fair, they're not, great opposition. They're in a World Cup, that's fair play to them, and that's decent of them, but they're not a world-class side. Belgium are a world-class side, and that is where we are going to really judge, and we can make an accurate representation, and we can judge solely on whether this England side can go the whole way. And, my initial reaction is that, if England can get a good run of games, going, if Harry Kane can keep netting in the goals, which I think he will, we've got a very, very, very good chance. And we've seen so many teams in this tournament where the big sides have come up against the little boys, and the little boys have staged upsets. And it's very easy. We saw it with Iceland in the Euros. It's very easy. It can be very, very easy for that to happen. But it hasn't. We've qualified, which is the main thing. An absolutely sensational performance. What a way to spend Sunday afternoon by watching your national side absolutely put a team to the fucking slaughter. And I will rejoin you on Thursday, not only for a match preview, but a match review of England's final group game in Group G as they face Belgium. That is a heavyweight game. Not sure whether I'm going to be doing just a match preview and then a match review, or whether I will actually be doing a vlog of the game, like vlogging the game. So I'll let you know nearer the time, ladies and gentlemen. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, chat if you're new around here, and let me know your thoughts, feelings, and all of your questions and queries down in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter at DJPepperSide98. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings to England's 6-1 win over Panama. And until next time, this is DJ PepperSide. Take care, and I shall speak to you all later. Take care, and I shall see you all soon.